All right, we are live, and I hope it's working today. All right, so it's 6 p.m., so I'm calling the meeting to order. Everyone is present.
More coming in. Good evening.
Eugene.
Hi, Eugene.
I will make a motion to approve last month's minutes.
I got something to say about that. Can I say something?
Yeah.
In the minutes, who has a copy of those minutes? Does anybody? I don't. Thanks. In the minutes, it was stated that, that the Jersey Street building wanted to be gifted to the seniors, and that is not the case. We don't want the gift, we don't want it stated that the building is being gifted to the seniors.
Mhm.
We want it to be stated that the seniors, how do we want to say that? Want to be gifted the use
Yeah, so that
of the
was,
building. And in here, it doesn't say that. It gives a different vibe on it.
that was what I went word for word off the letter that was written. So that's why it's in there like that.
Okay, can we change it?
That's how the letter was written. It's just a public, so it doesn't have anything on policy.
Okay,
It's just, you could say during public comment that you really like purple uniforms, and that holds no value other than you made a public comment.
all right. And then it also stated that it was an out-of-town person stating, and she wants her name recognized in this.
Just so you know, like for City Hall, they don't ever put names on. So if you go through all of ours, like Eugene isn't mentioned, it just says a resident for bikes.
All right,
That is a recommendation from Kristen.
What's the reasoning for that?
I can't tell you. You'd have to talk with Kristen. I send in the minutes with the names and then it's modified.
she gets out some,
Yeah.
she,
I believe they follow the county format,
Yeah.
is what it is, but
okay. Well,
It's-
those were the two things that I wanted to change if we could.
Yeah. If you look at council's minutes too, so like,
that's just a record of what was said and what was asked for or done. That's
Okay.
not
All right.
exactly like anything that's just a record of what was said. So all you're approving is that this is what was said and done during the last meeting.
Okay,
So like he said, like that was word for word off the letter, so it just.
and it was my letter, so it
Yeah.
was-
You know what
I worded it wrong.
I don't believe there's any, I don't have the notes, but like was there any action or anything associated with it? So that
No.
it's kind of just saying that there was what was said and that was how it was said.
Okay.
If
I
that
just
makes any
wanted to
better
make
sense.
that
Yeah,
clear.
just if that makes any better sense.
All right.
I don't know if that helps or not, but
No, but that's okay. I mean, all right, I understand.
so we have a second on that.
Sure.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Is there any that are nay? All right, motion carries. Next on our agenda, we have public appearances. Mr. Apple, would you like to go first?
Sure. Rich Apple, superintendent here in Horicon. Part of our role as the school district is we're in charge of the city recreation program. We partner with the YMCA of Dodge County, and I know that there's been a lot of discussion going on with our senior citizens and a program and how they would fall under an umbrella of an organization that would also help them in use of the Jersey Street or the Jersey building. So I've worked with Dirk and Ellie from the YMCA, had a chance to talk with several folks here who've been a part of the seniors program. I've been doing a seniors coffee in the mornings. And so I know I've only got 3 minutes, so I have given you a hard copy here that gives you the purpose of it, to develop this senior citizens recreation program that's both for their social enhancement and physical enhancement as well, for quality of life, social isolation, to try and get them out and connected, a greater sense of belonging and engagement in the community, really to give them, and they're going to have a large say of what would they like to see in this program. I'm not far off from being in that group, but I am, some say I am already, but if they would like to develop what their needs are going to be on this monthly basis, They'll be able to use the facilities at the school. They'll be able to use the YMCA, and we'll be able to use city facilities. So what you're seeing in front of you here, we would be able to have this organization fall within the city rec. We do a great job for our youth, which we just got Mike hired here. We got him hired for our youth. Now we need to do something for the folks on the other end of our youth and their twilight years and take care of them, because that's what's going to be best for our community. Our community needs that. They need this to be a part of our community as well. So we're looking to grow this program within the YMCA City Rec program and have it fall under the umbrella of that, because we've got great facilities that they can use. We've got a place that we can have speakers come into, and then we could also organize and maybe do some trips with a bus and go different places. And really, if they want to do that, I think that that could be developed. So with this, you can see the only costs that are associated with it would fall under our Fund 80, which we levy as the school district. And we already have dollars in there for our city rec program. I don't see this as being a high cost. I would ask that you would consider waiving any fees from the city's perspective, because we're really partners in this, and be able to look at how we can best serve our population that's maybe in the retirement years.
Mhm.
So if you have any questions on the written document that I've given you there, I'd be glad to answer any. But Dirk and I with the YMCA have partnered on this. They have an established program with many, many different opportunities for our folks. I just think it's best for.
Thank you. Do we have any other public appearances tonight?
If you let me, yeah.
Did you want to talk now or under your item?
Well, I have an item.
I put the bicycle racks on for you.
Oh, okay. On parks, all right. I can wait then.
Okay. I'll bring yours up when you're there. Does anyone else want to talk about anything else? Okay. Thank you all. Parks report, I'll give it to you, Cody.
Parks report, parks are pretty quiet right now. Main things are, is we just finished picking up leaves and all the bathrooms are closed and winterized.
Thank you. I did talk with Cody, so I was gonna steal a little bit of his park report to share an update with you all. So we had the preliminary budget meeting and things were a lot better than I thought they would be. So we do have a second playground added in. There's talks of us going back and cutting some additional items out, which opens up the floodgates for what else can we bring in. There was supposed to be a special meeting last week, Thursday, that was canceled, so it'll be at next week's council meeting. So I will hopefully have an update on other stuff that makes it or not at that time. So
So you're gonna leave us hanging?
I don't know how that meeting is yet, so I have to wait. I will email you all just as a update, so you don't have to wait till next month, but just a reminder, do not reply all to that email, so I don't get in trouble. Thank you. Rec report, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Just that I'm Mike McCullough. I am the new rec director. Today was only my second day. Just really working on getting things organized. Basically down at Van Brunt. So we can still, open up for pickleball. Got a couple basketball things going on, volleyball, a couple programs running right now. So just kind of getting my feet wet, meeting new people, and really getting all that storage area organized. Very, very unorganized. So I've been going through like every box. And it's probably gonna take me all week, but it kind of works out because all the pickleballers on in the morning. So just going through all that, just seeing what we have, what we're gonna need, find a lot of stuff that probably hasn't been open but can be used, like T-ball jerseys, basketball T-shirts that we can hand out, more or less like free branding too, and it's stuff with the Y logo as well. I've been talking and working with Ellie on all that, just on, hey, can we give these out if they don't have the Y logo or not? And just kind of making sure I'm not doing anything wrong right away, more or less. So just kind of getting my feet wet, getting used to all the new software, and kind of just hit the ground running. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Welcome.
Bryce, just a note to make sure that we get Mike's name on.
Yes, I'm gonna talk to you afterwards how to spell your last name.
Deal. Yeah.
And pronounce it.
Yes,
Why don't you both?
I slaughtered Mookie's name for a solid year. So I'm sorry. Did you want to share anything on the aquatic center report?
I do have the budget comparisons, if you guys are gonna pick like an option for how you wanna do it, like you want your manager and then like 2 head guards, you want a manager and assistant, so if you want me to pass those out to everybody, I can do that, or if you have those, or.
I do have that on the agenda, 12, so we'll talk about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Sorry,
Nope,
thank you.
other than that, we're good.
Sorry, just let me quickly write this down, otherwise I'm gonna forget. All right, Friends of the Horicon Parks update. I think I texted everyone privately. I don't know if you saw the new playground at District Park went in. So a big thank you again to the anonymous donor. I know you guys have asked. I will still not reveal their identity, so sorry, it'll be a secret until I die. Other exciting news, I actually got a call this morning. So we did receive a grant from the Beaver Dam Area Community Foundation for Woody Parks Playground. It was $1,000. I know it's not as much as I was hoping for, but those add up because we've been getting a couple thousand here, 1,000 there. And I'm still waiting on one that is in a range of 2,500 to 40,000. So that should be in before December. And then today we started up our winter Door County Candle Company fundraiser. I will send you all a flyer on that. So if you want to order a candle, you get 33%. To me, I feel like that's pretty significant. And you can make your house smell good or buy someone a Christmas gift.
You're gonna email that to us?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So that is all I have on that. Any questions? Number 9, review rates of neighboring communities' park rentals. So this one in your list, we talked about what our neighboring communities do, and then I pulled a couple from communities of the same size. The one thing I thought was interesting is Emerald has a tiered pricing, so for every 5 people you bring in, the price goes up $10. But a better deal is for $500, you can actually just rent out the whole park, and then no one else can use it for that day.
Why were we looking at this?
To see if our rental rates for our buildings were in comparison with our neighbors in similar cities.
Are these our current rates or were these suggested rates?
These are our current.
Current, okay.
Looking at the list, I don't feel like they're too bad.
We're not that far off.
I don't think they're, yeah.
We're a lot cheaper than Mayville.
Mhm.
The one I left off of here because their rate was really weird is Juneau. It's $10, but it mentions that it's for a tent permit. And
We don't.
I don't want tenting in the parks.
No. Outside of the rates, in the paragraph just below about listing the organizations, when they will waive that rental fee.
Mhm.
Unless I'm missing it, I don't see the school district or the YMCA for recreational programs. Should that be in here?
From what Kristen had told me, they're on a special list. So like when they rent the,
So we have a list outside of a list?
yeah,
Okay,
that's a
I think
list or an
it's
agreement.
I think it's because it's the affiliation with the city.
okay.
But like they rent this park for the cross country meet and they don't pay anything.
That's what I
Yeah.
want to make sure that that's listed somewhere.
They just fill out the form and then they get it.
And it would also include all of their programming through the YMCA.
Yes.
Anything that they wanted to do that they no fees. Okay.
Correct. I can put it on next month to add the wording on here if you'd like, but they have, I can find out where it is listed with Kristen. It's somewhere.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're covering that base as well.
On that note, does anyone have any questions on neighboring rates?
Thank you for pulling that together. It's good to see where we're at.
I feel like we're pretty solid. So if there's no more questions, then we'll move on to number 10. Athletic baseball field rates. Lucy, if you want to start the conversation, or Cody, you guys are gonna know it better than me.
It's up to you.
Sure. Basically, when you rent Disher, it's very confusing. You rent the field, you pay by how many teams are there, you gotta pay for the lights, you have to turn the lights on. But if you go to River Bend, where there's 3 fields, it's rent the field, rent whatever. So in my opinion, if you're gonna go through all this, let's just make it all the same and make it easy. Because, I mean, in all reality, Cody rents the baseball field, I could technically rent the concession stand, and that may cause a little bit of an issue. You know, not necessarily that there's people out there, whatever. I mean, people just might run onto the field when the school's got the baseball field rented.
I think one of the things that stuck out to me is we haven't updated this since that is no longer a football field. And what I was kind of looking around at looks like an athletic field, what they're using for like the renting of that is more of like towards the football field side of things,
That
not
makes
the
sense
baseball.
now.
So I know Josh and I talked about it. So I don't know, like my suggestion to this group would be to remove the athletic field and just change the verbiage to say, instead of Riverbend Park ball fields, Riverbend/Disher Park ball fields. And then that should fix the issue and make them all consistent.
And I don't know, in my opinion, I think if you rent the baseball fields, it would be nice to just have the concession stands leave the concession stand on there if somebody
Yep.
wants to rent it separate, but just include the concession stand
Yep.
with the baseball field.
I would agree with you.
I mean, otherwise you just get
Which the
people running into people. If you got a
Yeah.
baseball game going on and you got rec going on and I rent the concession stand, that just causes problems.
And the way that I just said, like we were talking about, would actually do that. So then when you rented the field, you got the concession stand with the field as well.
Okay, I
Just to
got-
clear, not that it was, a discussion of that would be
Sure.
something different.
It
That
could be
would
that,
all
or it could be an add-on, so you can't have it unless you're actually renting the field. So it's not available to rent on its own, it's an add-on.
No, it's,
Well, you
it's
could rent
available
it
to rent on its own, but not
only
when
on
the
its
field
own
is
if the
rented.
baseball field's not rented.
I wouldn't even do that, but, okay.
I don't know if we have,
Why
I think we
aren't
might
we-
have to.
Has that ever happened?
No.
Well, it could.
Okay.
I could rent it for
Okay.
a
We
birthday
wanna-
party
Sure. we could
if he's
do
got a
that.
baseball game going on technically.
Okay.
Not that anybody
Does it?
does,
I
but
know.
you don't, for that, I would like to
Yeah.
eliminate that situation before that situation happens, my opinion.
All right, that's fine.
So to make sure I understand, like, we want to make a motion just to scratch off athletic fields and then rename Riverbend Park to Riverbend/Disher. Is that,
Including the,
Concession stand, yeah, you rent the field to get a stand, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that in
already,
there?
that's already in there
I didn't
as
see
part
it.
of it.
Basically, you take off the athletic
It's on the
field,
second
take off
page.
the 2 asterisks,
Yep.
and then,
Oh,
Are we
it got
taking
cut off.
The reserved groups?
I can go grab it, but it got cut off on the packet because it does say that it includes a concession stand and
I don't-
lights.
I was gonna say, don't.
When
Yeah,
you
I
rent
don't
the
see it.
field, it got cut off. I can
Alright.
go grab the copy I have in my office.
not to backtrack, Jen, but it actually mentions at the bottom, this is where it's listed, Horicon Rec Department programs are exempt from fees.
Do I see that?
Yep, right under Riverbend Ballpark. The
It's
next,
under fees include the lights.
Okay, but that's not, I want it to be for all buildings, not just
I wonder
for,
if that's different because I think my packet said fees include the lights and the building. So that might, maybe I have an older rental agreement in my office.
What I'll
It
do,
did.
I'll make a motion to scratch all the like field section, rename Riverbend Park to Riverbend Park and Disher, and then also modify it to include fees include the lights and concession
Yeah.
stand. Is that fair?
right, I just, like I said, it gets tricky. You set up a baseball tournament,
Yep.
right? You know how this works.
Yep.
6 teams sign up, 5 teams show up. You have to pay for that other team, or, you know what I mean? 'Cause
Right,
only,
yeah.
now do I get a refund? How do you prove that only 5 teams showed up versus,
What's the
Or-
difference? What's the difference in play?
You rented the
How many
field.
games or
Yeah.
or one? It doesn't.
so we're
Doesn't really
deleting the reserved group.
Yep.
And I just wanna make sure that the Horicon Recreation Department programs will be exempt from fees is for this whole entire page,
Yeah,
not
I
just
know.
under
word,
Riverbend.
word that a little different,
Yeah,
even if you add it right up in this section.
yeah, that's my.
Should just move it when they
Up
come
to that
in.
paragraph with everyone else.
I don't know, it just makes everybody's life easier.
That's a
And no
good idea.
arguing.
Just hasn't been updated since the football field went away.
Oh, right,
You know?
Sorry, I'm just writing all this down, otherwise I'm gonna slaughter this too. All right, do I have a second on that motion?
So move.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Is there anyone that's opposed? All right, motion carries. Number 11, bicycle racks. Eugene, would you like to use your 3 minutes now to talk about bike racks?
Sure, well, I'll come to the city meeting and hand out, I guess, end of the year review for the bikes, how it went. Only one flat tire, a lot of rusted cables because sitting out in the rain is not good for them. 12 bikes, got 12 bikes back, even though there was 2 bikes missing for 2 months earlier this year. They showed back up. I had 1 bike near the end of the year that I tracked down by the school, which eventually found out that cross-country coach had been using it, and the Apple AirTag will not pass through a metal building, I guess, because it would not recalibrate that it was in there. It just tracked there one day, and then I had nothing for 3 weeks. But yeah, right now, 22 bikes are in storage from bikes that's been donated and bikes that I cleaned up and fixed up and put into the program. I gave Cody the list. There's actually 2 of them in there right now, Cody, that may not be on your list.
There is, because
One,
I counted 25 when I went down there.
25? I also have about another 12 more in my backyard that I'll be working on during the winter. Either scrapping some of them out, just dunking them out, but yeah, I'll have spare tires and stuff. But one of the things that might help having bikes dumped all over the city, because that's probably the biggest thing I did this year, was picking up bikes along with citizens that help do that too. Would be some bike racks in other areas around town. You know, they don't have to be huge racks. 3 or 4 bikes can park at it, but be able to do that. I already jumped the gun a little bit because I had sent Rich Apple an email and asked him if the school would possibly consider a project like that, and he passed it on to the metals shop, and he wrote back and said, yeah, that sounds like I got a class starting in January and we'll see what we can do. I said, well, and I sent him another email. I said, well, first I need to go to the city and find out if that's possible. So, and I hope that, yeah, that the bike program gets more than lip service.
Yeah.
You know, support with racking, with the Gold Star Trail, bathrooms. It's been, what, 7 years since the Gold Star went to Whitty Park, and there was nothing there for somebody to come into town and say, all right, where is the Gold Trail start at? Whitty Park. What is it? Nothing. Don't even have the broken down playgrounds anymore, right? But soon we'll get some new ones. But yeah, talk about it. The city can talk about it. Some racks, places. I know Cody and I talked a little bit today. He caught me. I was out riding around on a fat tire bike, and we chatted. He told me the ups and downs, what's possible, or
Yeah,
it needs to be discussed.
Yeah, I think that's something that we need to plan for and kind of figure out where you want the locations to be. And then that might be like a budget thing, or we come up with some money later in the year to put in some concrete pads to put it in, or blacktop or something. Cause I don't think that these bikes, it's a little different than the one in front of the pool because we can push that one around. The bikes are all gone. It's a little easier, but here you have bikes sitting on the ground and that direct contact to the rubber tires isn't good for them either, you know, all the moisture and everything else. So I'd like to make sure that when we do this, it's easily maintainable and we have a good spot to put the stuff and come up with some locations. I agree with Eugene. Like, you know, we should target like our Whitty Park and try to get stuff to the west side because all of our stuff seems right now is very central. And I think it, you know, if it's anything, it's good discussion to kind of figure out where we want to go with this stuff.
Yeah. Thank you for having that conversation too with the school. I think it's awesome when you get kids involved because
it's a great partnership. I think it's great. It gets the kids involved and, you know, it's out there in the community. They can see something that they built and added to the community. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Did we want a motion on it tonight or do you want to?
I mean, we can take them and then put them out as we gain places, or if the school district would like to wait, it's completely up. I just don't know, you know, what the idea is, or if you want Eugene to come back with a plan of like, 2 or 3 more locations and how we would put them, on city property. And I can work with them on that to feasible spots that we can,
Did we get an idea if this is like a quarter or a semester class? Are they gonna be ready by March or June or,
I think they'd be ready by March.
so like a quarter, it's a couple months?
I think
So it gives them time
Yeah.
to
we've
figure it
got
out.
kids that are looking for those kinds of projects.
Okay.
The hard part with it is just, we don't have any, money allocated for putting in any like infrastructure for them, any concrete or, we can dig out and put some gravel in, but at the end of the day, we're gonna have to do some kind of hard surface. And like Eugene brought up, it'd be really cool. And I don't know if they make it something to get them in and out of the weather. So I don't know if there's like a little lean-to or something that could be built over the top of them to better protect them, or, if there's some good ideas out there. Just haven't had a lot of time to research it, to be honest.
Would it be okay with you if I work with you for putting it on December and we can find some spots and see,
Sure.
make sure it works with Cody? Okay.
Yeah, we can work together on that and get something, at least then it's a good presentation with hopefully a bunch of research done.
And Cordy had told me about a lot of the pitfalls I had several locations that I said you have 2 benches at 3 different locations. The Blue Heron statue at the bottom of Mill Street, the War Memorial statue. Then you have the Horicon sign across from the ice cream station. 2 benches. One bench could be rewarded with a rack there, but Cody says, that's state right away. And permits would have to be, I don't know what's all involved.
Yeah, it would have to be an ask first, and then I know there'd be some kind of permitting or plan review process with that, which would probably involve us bringing in engineers and everything else to be able to take care of that. So downtown's not as feasible. Anything on that Highway 33 and 28 corridor is not as feasible.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to talk about on this topic, or otherwise I'll work with you for next one?
Sure.
Okay. Number 12, pool contracts. Not sure if any of the Y people would like to take it away, or Cody.
I guess I probably was more involved with Drew on some of these. So the one that we put in the budget for a placeholder right now is option number 1. After speaking with Nikki Bergeron, who did an awesome job this year, really bringing things back. I guess like from my standpoint is I think we need to do a lot and, whatever we can to keep her here and keep her happy, because she really kept things moving well. With that and the conversations I had with her as well as Drew, she would really like, by the sounds of it, 2 head guards and then her as the manager, which would allow her a little more freedom for her summer. So that's why I put option 1 in there. That also mimics the time frame that we did this year and just the addition of the YMCA adult.
I agree with option 1. I know Nikki's big ask was she would like to be around 15, and that was for her to consider coming back next year.
Yep.
So I think that addresses that. Does anyone have any other feedback, questions on that?
I think that would be nice, like coming from like an outdoor pool standpoint. It's nice to have a few more people when people are on vacation or guards call and they need something. It's nice to have multiple people like above the regular guards for help, emergencies, anything like that. It was nice for me.
Yep, and I, if nothing else comes out of this, if we only get Nikki for a set amount of years, I think it's a great thing that she would be able to train and bring up some new pool, I don't know, head guards or managers.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
totally.
didn't want to use the wrong.
And I would say we totally agree with your assessment, because she really did stabilize.
Yes. It made a heck of a difference from our end of it and having to, and we're the ones obviously that are licensed to operate the actual like pool and the water and the chemicals, and with her there, all the testing was completed as we asked and everything was dealt with timely, so.
I agree with you as far as the development of future leaders.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, extremely happy with the way the year went.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
If no one has any other questions, I'll make a motion to approve option 1. Do I have a second? Sorry, I know I'm going kind of quick.
There are no pay increases.
Well, Nikki got a raise, right?
But that's it.
But that's it.
Were they all like first year guards
I thought
last year?
I thought there was built in a 3% for those that were returning, if I'm not mistaken.
It's not in the option one.
That
Was
was
it?
approval upon.
Okay. No, there isn't.
Okay. Are they all like first year guards coming back or?
I am
Not
not
sure.
sure. I haven't got like the contact of what guards
Okay.
want to be returning. I'm sure some will want to return. I
Do we
would
need
imagine.
to make any adjustments for that?
These were the options we were presented by what the YMCA wanted, so I mean, that's why it's not our contract to say it. We're just accepting what the total number is at the bottom.
Can I say, like, I like option one, but I think next year I would like to see at least $1 raise for me. Like, would that be fair?
Yeah, that's fair. I just, like I said, that's what,
No, I
Drew,
could,
I get the options from the Y. These are the options we got. And if my assumption in talking with Drew, I guess too, is, over the years is that, if they're asking or want a raise, that's something that the YMCA would bring forth and say, hey, these are the options we want. And that's what these are, is beyond me asking for the options for the year, this is what I get this is what I got from Drew in this case. And,
Okay.
and then these are the ones that I have to make a decision of what I'm putting for a placeholder in the budget.
Gotcha. All right.
Well,
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just,
Well, then we shouldn't make a motion on this then. We should just keep that, if it's gonna change,
You
Next
already-
year.
you
next
were-
year.
oh,
Yeah,
next year,
or
okay.
2026.
Right, you already have this,
26,
Yep.
okay.
because you already have this in the budget that.
Yeah,
has
this
been
is already,
approved.
option one is placeholdered in there and the budget
Okay.
should be adopted on,
Should
How
be.
close were we this year?
close. I don't even have the numbers yet. To be honest, we just paid out some of those final bills and stuff.
Okay.
Chemicals, we had a project for exhaust fans that just got paid
How
out.
close were we with the contract with the Y? Were we-
I don't know, because we paid I should be able to get updated numbers,
Okay.
because we had personnel
I'm
finance
hoping there's
yesterday.
enough to buffer that they can give a little bit of an increase, but and still stay within the contracted number.
Oh, yeah, maybe, yeah.
I was just curious how close we were.
I should know by next month.
All right, is there a motion in a second?
I made I need a second
I'll
still.
second,
Thank you.
unless anyone else has more discussion.
With that, are you ready to vote? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Is there any nays? All right, motion carries. Number 13. Sorry, I'm trying not to lose my voice. I've been over a cold. Reimbursement of fees for Horicon Historical Society street use permit. Long story short, this is actually supposed to be on a different committee, but it was forgotten about, so it's on ours. If you haven't been to the Horicon Haunted History Days, they close the street for their event. It's really cool. Check it out next year. But they're just asking to be reimbursed for their street closure.
I should move.
Is it 50 or 150? There are two different,
Theirs is 150 because they had 3 weekends, if that's correct.
I believe so.
I think we can just make it as a motion to refund them, and that covers it.
Okay.
Jerry, you made the motion. Who seconded that?
I'll
again?
second.
Thank you, guys. All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye. Is there any nays? All right, motion carries. Number 14, historic preservation sign project for my best friend's trail. It's at Riverbend Park. I know I've kind of talked about this a little bit over the last years, and I'm finally making progress on this with my schedule. So I attached our 2 examples. I will not be putting like what we groundhogs like to live, but they'd be more tailored to like the old Van Brunt factory, stuff like that. I think it's really important to highlight the history of our community. I met with Linda Kane, and it was really cool to see what our community did, like weaponize as a whole for like World War I, World War II. So it'd be stuff like that that I'd like to preserve and then put as signs on a post along that trail for people to stop, walk.
I so move.
Brittany? Thank you. Do I have a second on
I'll
that?
second that.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. I'm going to vote abstain just since it's my thing and I don't want to be in trouble. All right, motion carries. Next one, set next meeting date and location. December is really weird. It sounds like council will be moving up a week, so I'm not sure if we want to move ours up because otherwise it's a very quick turnaround. So I mean, everything from parks just goes right to council regardless. So as of now, we would meet on the 16th if we want to bump that up. Council should.
I will not be here.
I move, we
Thank you,
just simply skip the month of December with all the other conflicts.
Yeah.
You just want to skip it?
Yeah.
Are we all in agreement on that one?
No Christmas party.
Dang.
Sorry, Lisa. But that's what, then we actually need to set January's meeting. So, that would be January 20th would be our next meeting.
Here,
God, it's 2025 already. Real quick on that meeting, just since we're all here, I will be asking if you guys can send me your availability for a special perks meeting. I had met with Jeff from Burke and Lee Recreation. The council gave us 70 grand to spend on 2 playgrounds. It's not a lot, but it's something. So the sale for the spring playground starts around that time in January. So to be quick and to move as fast as we can as a government, I'll probably hold just a special meeting for that, just so you're all on the same page.
how much did we get from the city?
70,000 at the moment for the 2. But that does not include the grants and money we've gotten through Friends of the Parks. So there's some money there. I'm hoping there's a lot more. If no one has any other questions, I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second. Sorry. Just say aye if you agree to adjourn.
Aye.
Is there any nays? All right, motion carried. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
So my instructions are, Cody, if there's no snow in the forecast, due next week, Thursday, go ahead and do it.
The text company.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I will.